Graph the function. Include 2 full periods. So when I'm starting off a tangent function, the first thing I want to look for is my vertical asymptotes. Those occur when what is inside of my tangent function equals pi over 2, or when what's inside my function equals negative pi over 2. So if I solve both of these for x, I get x equals pi over 8, or x equals negative pi over 8. So if I want to sketch that, and give myself a little space, and say this is negative pi over 8, and this is pi over 8, I know that I'll have one dashed vertical asymptote here, and another dashed vertical asymptote here. Now, our period for tangent is pi over b. And in this instance, it's going to be pi over 4. So that means the distance between each asymptote is pi over 4. So the end of my second period is going to be pi over 8 plus pi over 4, my period, which gives me 3 pi over 8. So I know here at 3 pi over 8, I'll have another vertical asymptote. So always begin with your vertical asymptotes. Now, we know in the middle of each of these vertical asymptotes is where my graph hits 0. So right here in the middle, it's going to hit 0 at 0. And in the middle of these two, which is, what's that going to be? 4 pi over 16, which is pi over 4, it's also going to hit 0. Now, my other key features are connected to my amplitude. And my amplitude in this instance is 1 because it's just one tangent x. So I know I'm going to go up 1 and down to negative 1 for some key points. So you hit those amplitudes in the middle of each of these. So that's going to be pi over 16 and negative pi over 16 here. So we know that that's going to hit 1 here, and that point is going to be pi over 16, 1, and it's going to hit negative 1 down here, which is negative pi over 16, negative 1. Let's go ahead and find those middle values for my second period. This is going to be 3 pi over 16, and this is going to be 5 pi over 16, following a pattern. So this is going to hit up at positive 1. So this is 5 pi over 16, 1. And down here, this is going to be 3 pi over 16, negative 1. Now that we have our key points, we can draw our tangent curve coming through these key points, getting close to our asymptotes, but not actually crossing them. Two full periods.